They said the trip to the country club was cancelled. I feel too bad, Mom said. Then my sister posted photos from the party. Everyone was there except me. I kept quiet until my mom texted, "Send $2,000 for the mortgage." The mortgage? I smiled. My name is Brittany, and I'm a software developer. I've been doing this job for about 5 years now, and honestly, I love it. There's something satisfying about writing clean code, solving problems, and seeing everything work perfectly when you hit that run button. I work mostly from home, which suits me just fine. I only go to the office maybe once or twice a week when there's an important meeting or something that really needs my physical presence. People always tell me I'm not very social, and they're probably right. I prefer chatting with my friends online rather than meeting up in person all the time. It's not that I hate people or anything. I just find it easier to express myself through text messages or video calls. My social battery runs out pretty quickly when I'm around too many people for too long. The remote work thing has been amazing for my finances. I managed to buy my own apartment last year with a mortgage. It's not huge, but it's mine, and I decorated it exactly how I wanted. My setup is perfect: a corner desk by the window, 2 monitors, mechanical keyboard, the works. I can code all day and still have energy left for my hobbies. My older sister Sarah is the complete opposite of me. She's like a walking party wherever she goes. Everyone loves her immediately. She got married 5 years ago to this guy Tom, and they already have 2 kids, Emma, who's 4, and little Jake, who just turned 2. Sarah works in marketing and somehow manages to juggle everything while still being the life of every gathering. Our parents absolutely adore Sarah. Whenever we have family dinners, they can't stop talking about how wonderful she is, how she's such a great mother, how Tom is perfect for her. Then they look at me with these disappointed expressions. "Brittany, you're 28 now," Mom always says. "Don't you think it's time you found someone special?" "I'm focusing on my career right now," I usually reply. "But what about friends?" "You barely go out anymore," Dad chimes in. "I have friends. We talk online all the time." They exchange those looks that parents do when they think their kid is being difficult. Mom will sigh and say something like, "That's not the same thing, honey. You need real connections." The worst part is family gatherings. Extended family members always corner me with the same questions. Aunt Linda loves to remind me that time is ticking and I shouldn't wait too long to settle down. Uncle Mike actually tried to set me up with his coworker's son last Christmas. I politely declined, but he kept pushing. "He's a nice boy, works in accounting," he said. "Very stable job." I'm sure he is, but I'm not interested in dating right now. Mom always jumps in to defend me, but in the most embarrassing way possible. "Brittany is just very introverted," she'll say with this apologetic smile. "She needs more time." After these family events, my parents always have the same conversation with me. They'll sit me down and explain how embarrassed they felt when I wouldn't even consider meeting Uncle Mike's suggestion or when I spent most of the party on my phone instead of mingling. "We just want you to be happy," Mom says. "I am happy," I tell them. "But you're so different from everyone else in the family," Dad adds. It's hard for people to understand. I've stopped arguing with them about it. I just nod and let them talk. Inside, I'm thinking that this is my life and I should get to live it however I want. I'm not hurting anyone by being quiet or preferring my own company. I work hard. I pay my bills. I help them out financially when they need it. Isn't that enough? But apparently, it's not. They keep comparing me to Sarah, holding her up as the perfect example of how I should be living my life. Sometimes I wonder if they even like me for who I am or if they're just waiting for me to transform into someone else entirely. Last month I was scrolling through Facebook when I saw Mom's post about planning a party at the country club for her birthday. She was really excited about it, posting photos of the venue and talking about how she wanted to celebrate with everyone. I immediately cleared my schedule for that day. Mom's birthday is important, and despite all our differences, I love her and want to be there for special occasions. The next day, Sarah called me while I was working on a particularly tricky debugging session. "Hey, Britt, did you see Mom's post about the party?" she asked. "Yeah, looks like it's going to be nice. The country club is pretty fancy. That's actually why I'm calling. I was thinking we should go in together on a really nice gift for her, something special, you know. I was thinking maybe $2,000 from each of us." $2,000 was a lot of money, but it was Mom's birthday and I had been saving up. Plus, I'd been helping my parents with various expenses over the years anyway. "Sure, that sounds good. I'll transfer it to your account right now. You're the best, Britt. Mom's going to be so happy." I sent the money immediately through my banking app. Sarah had always been better at picking out gifts anyway, so I figured she'd find something perfect. The morning of the party, I woke up early and spent extra time getting ready. I even bought a new dress, nothing too fancy, just a simple navy blue one that looked appropriate for a country club. I was actually looking forward to it. Maybe this time the family gathering wouldn't be so awkward. Around 10 o'clock in the morning, I called Mom to confirm everything was still on schedule. "Hi, Mom. Just wanted to check that everything's still good for today. What time should I be there?" There was this weird pause on the other end. It lasted longer than it should have. "Oh, honey," Mom finally said, and her voice sounded strange. "I'm afraid we had to cancel the party." "Cancel? What happened?" "I'm feeling really unwell today. Yesterday evening, I got so stressed out with all the preparations, the bookings, calling the caterers, organizing everything. My blood pressure shot up and I actually had to call an ambulance. They said I need to rest." I felt my stomach drop. "Mom, are you okay? Do you need me to come over? I can be there in 20 minutes. No, don't worry about it. I'm sure you have other plans for today anyway. Your father is here with me, so I'm not alone. Maybe when I'm feeling better, we can have a small family dinner instead. Just the close family." "Are you sure? I can cancel anything else I have planned." "Really, honey, don't trouble yourself. I'll call you when I'm feeling up for that family dinner." Okay, Mom, feel better. Let me know if you need anything at all." After I hung up, I felt genuinely worried about her. High blood pressure and ambulances aren't things to joke about. But since my day was suddenly free, I called my friend Jessica and asked if she wanted to go shopping. We hit a few stores and then sat in this cute cafe downtown for a couple of hours just talking about work and life. It was actually really nice, exactly the kind of low-key social interaction I enjoy. That evening, I was planning to curl up with a book I'd been wanting to read. But first, I decided to quickly check social media to see if there were any updates about Mom's health or if anyone had posted anything interesting. I'm not really active on Facebook or Instagram. I mostly just scroll through to see what people are up to. I'm connected to a few relatives, including my cousin Amy, who posts constantly about everything she does. Amy had shared some photos that caught my attention. There were pictures from what looked like a really nice party, expensive food, champagne, people in fancy clothes. But what made me stop scrolling was that I recognized some of the faces. These were my relatives. The photos were originally from Sarah's account, which I wasn't following, so I clicked over to Sarah's profile to see what this was about. What I saw made my blood run cold. There were dozens of photos from the country club, the same country club where Mom's birthday party was supposed to happen. Sarah had even tagged the location and written captions like "Celebrating Mom's special day at the country club and such a wonderful birthday celebration for our amazing mother." I scrolled through every single photo. There was Mom wearing a beautiful emerald green dress, laughing and holding a glass of champagne. There was Dad in his good suit, arm around Mom's shoulders. There were aunts, uncles, cousins, family friends, everyone we usually see at big family gatherings. The food looked incredible. There were flowers everywhere. And everyone was clearly having an amazing time. The only person missing from every single photo was me. I sat there staring at my phone screen, trying to process what I was seeing. Mom hadn't canceled the party. She had lied to me. They had all gone to the country club and celebrated without me. And from the looks of these photos, nobody even noticed I wasn't there. My hands were actually shaking as I scrolled through more photos. There was one of Mom cutting a huge elaborate cake. Another one of her opening presents, including what looked like an expensive piece of jewelry that was probably the gift Sarah and I had bought together with my $2,000. They had deliberately excluded me from Mom's birthday party. They had lied to my face about it, and they had taken my money to help pay for a celebration I wasn't even invited to. I've never felt so betrayed in my entire life. My first instinct was to call Mom and Dad immediately and demand an explanation. I wanted to scream at them, ask them how they could lie to me like that, how they could take my money and then exclude me from the very event I helped pay for. But then something inside me just shut down. I realized I didn't actually want to hear their excuses, so I just made myself a cup of hot chocolate and went to bed early. What struck me over the next few days was the complete silence. My parents didn't write or call me at all after the party. Mom didn't even bother to pretend that she had recovered from her supposed illness and wanted to celebrate her birthday in a close family circle like she had promised. There was absolutely no communication from any of them. It was like they were perfectly fine with how things had played out. They got their fancy party. They got my money to help pay for it. And they didn't have to deal with their embarrassing daughter. Win-win for them, I guess. I threw it all out of my head and firmly decided that I was no longer interested in any of it. If they wanted to pretend I didn't exist, I could do the same thing to them. I focused on my work, caught up with some friends online, and actually felt pretty peaceful without all the family drama hanging over me. About 2 weeks passed like this. Then one evening, while I was working on a particularly complex piece of code, my phone buzzed with a text message from Mom. "Hi honey, hope you're doing well. Could you send us $2,000 for the mortgage payment this month? Dad and I are a bit short. Thanks. Love you." I read the message 3 times, each time feeling more incredulous than the last. The sheer audacity of it was breathtaking. They had lied to me, excluded me from a major family event, taken my money under false pretenses, and now they had the nerve to ask me for more money like nothing had happened. I stared at my phone screen, wondering how someone could be so shameless. My fingers were shaking slightly as I typed my response. "I'm not going to be a walking ATM for traitors and cheaters." I hit send, but I wasn't done. I went to Sarah's Facebook page, screenshot one of the photos from the country club party, the one where Mom was cutting her birthday cake with everyone gathered around her, all smiling and celebrating, and sent that to Mom as well. After I sent both messages, I turned off my phone completely, made myself another cup of hot chocolate, and went to bed. I felt this strange mix of anger and satisfaction. Finally, I had said exactly what I was thinking without trying to be diplomatic or nice about it. I woke up early the next morning because I had an important video conference with a client. When I turned my phone back on, I couldn't believe what I saw. There were dozens of missed calls from Mom, Dad, and Sarah. The voicemail box was full. There were countless text messages filling up my screen. I started reading through some of the texts. They were all variations of the same theme. "There's been a misunderstanding. You've got it all wrong. We need to talk and explain everything. Please call us back immediately." The voice messages were even more frantic. Mom was crying in one of them, saying she didn't understand why I was being so cruel. Dad sounded angry, demanding that I call them back and stop acting like a child. Sarah left multiple messages trying to play peacemaker, saying we could work this all out if I would just listen to their side of the story. Instead of responding to any of them, I went through my phone and blocked all their numbers. Mom's number, Dad's number, Sarah's number, even Tom's number just in case. I blocked them on every platform I could think of: text messages, phone calls, social media, email. The silence that followed was beautiful. I went about my morning routine, had my client meeting, and dove into my work projects. For the first time in weeks, I felt completely focused and productive. It's amazing how much mental energy gets freed up when you stop dealing with toxic family drama. But they didn't give up that easily. After a couple of days, I started getting calls from numbers I didn't recognize. At first, I answered them because they could have been work-related. But as soon as I heard Mom's voice or Dad's voice on the other end, I hung up immediately. They were clearly using other people's phones or maybe calling from work numbers. This went on for about a week, unknown numbers calling me, hanging up as soon as I realized who it was. Then one afternoon, there was a knock on my door. I looked through the peephole and saw all of them: Mom, Dad, Sarah, and even Sarah's husband, Tom. They were standing in my hallway looking determined. "Brittany, we know you're in there," Dad called through the door. "We're not leaving until we talk to you." I really didn't want to deal with this, but I also didn't want my neighbors to witness a scene in the hallway. So I opened the door. "What do you all want?" I asked, not moving aside to let them in. "We need to talk," Mom said. "Please, honey, just let us explain." Against my better judgment, I stepped aside and let them into my apartment. They all filed in and stood awkwardly in my living room. "Brittany, we are so sorry," Mom started immediately. "We never meant to hurt you. We were just trying to protect you." "Protect me from what exactly?" I asked. "You know how the family gatherings go," Sarah jumped in. "Everyone always asks you those personal questions about your dating life, about why you're still single. We thought you'd be uncomfortable. So you decided to lie to me instead? We didn't want you to feel pressured to come if you didn't want to," Dad said. "We know you don't really enjoy those big family events." I looked at all of them standing there trying to sell me this ridiculous story. "Do you actually expect me to believe that? You think I'm that stupid?" They all started talking at once, overlapping apologies and explanations, but I held up my hand to stop them. "You want to know what I think really happened? I think you were embarrassed of me. I think you didn't want your friends and extended family to see your weird, antisocial daughter who doesn't fit in with the rest of the family." Mom and Dad both turned red. Tom looked uncomfortable and stared at his shoes. Sarah opened her mouth to argue, but nothing came out. "And the really disgusting part," I continued, "is that you took my $2,000 to help pay for a party you never intended to invite me to. That makes you thieves on top of liars and traitors." "Honey, that's not fair," Mom said weakly. "We spent so much money on the party that we didn't have enough left for the mortgage payment this month." "Oh, so now the truth comes out. You spent too much money showing off for your friends, and now you need me to bail you out again." This was the part that really got to me. Over the years, I'd helped them out financially more times than I could count. Car repairs, medical bills, home improvements, Sarah's wedding costs, emergencies, vacations. I'd probably given them tens of thousands of dollars over the years. And this is how they repaid me. I'm tired of being your personal ATM, I told them. I'm tired of helping people who lie to me and betray me. If you need money for your mortgage, ask all those people who were at the party. Ask the people you're not ashamed to be seen with. They started making excuses again, but I was done listening. I want all of you to leave my apartment right now, and I don't want to see any of you for a while. Tom actually looked relieved to be leaving. Sarah was crying. Mom and Dad were trying to argue, but I just kept repeating that they needed to leave until they finally did. After they left, I felt this weird mix of satisfaction and exhaustion. I was proud of myself for standing up to them, but I was also emotionally drained from the confrontation. I thought that would be the end of it, but I was wrong. Over the next few days, the calls and messages started up again from different numbers. Sometimes they were apologetic, sometimes they were angry. Dad actually sent me a text saying that because of all the stress, Mom's blood pressure was acting up again and it was my fault. That's when I knew they hadn't learned anything. They were still trying to manipulate me, still trying to make me feel guilty for their own bad behavior. Then the extended family started getting involved. Aunt Linda called to tell me I was overreacting and that family should forgive family. Uncle Mike sent me Facebook messages about how I needed to be the bigger person. Cousin Amy actually showed up at my apartment building one day, but I saw her from my window and didn't answer the door. The worst part was that they were all acting like I was the problem, like I was being unreasonable for being upset about being lied to and excluded. According to them, I should just forgive and forget because that's what family does. I deleted all my social media accounts so they couldn't contact me there anymore. When my parents showed up at my door again, I didn't answer. When Sarah tried to corner me outside the grocery store, I walked away without saying a word. After 2 weeks of this harassment, I'd had enough. I called my friend Jennifer, who works in real estate, and asked her to start looking for a new apartment for me. I needed to get away from all of this. Jennifer found me the perfect apartment within a month. It was in a different part of town, about 20 minutes from my old place, but still close enough to the office for those rare times I needed to go in. The building had better security, too, which I appreciated given everything that had been happening. I planned my move carefully. I didn't tell anyone in my family about it, not that we were speaking anyway. I hired professional movers and scheduled everything for a weekday when most people would be at work. I changed my address with the post office, updated my information with my bank and employer, and made sure to forward my mail to the new place. The only people I gave my new address to were my closest friends, Jessica, Mark from college, and a few coworkers I trusted. I also changed my phone number completely. It felt like starting fresh, which was exactly what I needed. About a month after I moved, I was checking my email when I saw a message from Mom. "Brittany, we found out you moved and didn't tell us your new address. We can't reach you on your phone either. We understand you're upset with us, but don't you think you're punishing us too severely for what happened at the party? We miss you and want to work things out. Please contact us." I stared at the email for several days before responding. Part of me wanted to ignore it completely, but another part of me felt like I needed to set some boundaries clearly. Finally, I wrote back, "I moved because I needed space from all of you. I'm not ready to communicate yet, and I haven't forgiven you for what you did. I still feel hurt and betrayed by your actions. When I'm ready to talk, I'll contact you myself. Please respect my decision and give me the time I need." I hit send and then didn't hear from them for another month. During this time, my life actually got a lot better. Without all the family drama and guilt trips, I had more energy for everything else. My work performance improved even more, and my boss noticed. I got assigned to lead a major project that could result in a promotion if it goes well. I also started dating someone I met through a friend. His name is David and he's a graphic designer who works for a marketing agency. We met at Jessica's birthday party and he actually approached me first. Usually I'm terrible at these kinds of social situations, but something about David made me feel comfortable right away. He's quiet like me, but in a different way. Where I'm introverted because I find social situations draining, he's just naturally calm and thoughtful. We've been on several dates now and I really like him. He doesn't pressure me to be more outgoing or social. He seems to actually appreciate my personality as it is. Last week was my birthday. I celebrated with my friends Jessica, Mark, David, and a few other people I've gotten closer to over the past few months. We went to a nice restaurant and then back to my apartment for cake and wine. It was exactly the kind of celebration I wanted, small, intimate, with people who actually understand and like me. The next day, I received birthday emails from Mom, Dad, and Sarah. They were all variations of "Happy birthday, we miss you, we love you." I actually felt touched that they remembered and took the time to write to me. I wrote back to each of them with simple thank you messages. It wasn't much, but it felt like a small step forward. I'm not sure when or if I'll fully forgive them for what they did. The betrayal still hurts when I think about it. They lied to me, excluded me from something important, took my money under false pretenses, and then had the audacity to ask for more. That's not something you just get over quickly. But I'm also starting to realize that holding on to anger takes a lot of energy. I've been so much happier these past few months without all the family dysfunction in my life. I've been more productive at work. I'm developing new friendships, and I'm even in a relationship with someone who accepts me for who I am. Maybe the space has been good for all of us. Maybe they've had time to think about their actions and realize how hurtful they were. Or maybe they haven't learned anything and they're still the same people who would rather lie to me than deal with their own embarrassment about having a daughter who doesn't fit their idea of normal. I don't know yet. What I do know is that I'm not going to rush back into a relationship with them just because they miss me or because other people think family should forgive family. If we're going to have a relationship in the future, it's going to be on my terms, with clear boundaries and mutual respect. For now, I'm focused on building the life I want. I have a job I love, friends who appreciate me, and someone special who makes me feel valued just as I am. I have my own apartment that I decorated exactly how I like it, and I can live my life without constantly defending my choices to people who should support me. The truth is, I don't know when I'll be ready to forgive them. But I know I'm not ready yet, and that's okay. I'm finally learning that it's okay to put myself first sometimes.